Hey, this is Steve Lukather, and you are watching Rock Cellar TV.
Rock Cellar TV, 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 Rock Cellar TV.
Anytime you're ready. Sorry about the little raspy voice. I've just been, been rehearsing like nonstop for like 2 days straight. You know.
Welcome the great Steve Lukather to Rock Cellar TV.
Thank you for having me. I'm not.
You co-wrote 2 songs on Ringo's album. I wanted to talk to you about
That
those.
was big for me. That was like, you have to understand, like as a kid, life went from black and white to color when I saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. I come from that age. I'll be 60 next week, which is why I'm growing my hair out as a FU to turning 60. The fact that I still have hair is amazing enough. But getting back to the real point we're here, the Beatles. Come on. That was the on switch to my life. Never in a million years, and I have a book coming out next year, which this is the most beautiful ending to the book that could ever be. I start out, it's about my musical career as a session musician, blah, blah, blah. Nothing too outrageous, you know. I still want to have friends at the end of the day. Anyway, it starts out with them, and to have this ending story where Ringo looked at me, like he says, I want to write a song with you, a couple songs with you for my new record. Now, we worked together on something on his last record, and it wasn't unusual to, you know, hang out with him. We live near each other, so we started hanging out, and I just adore this man. I really, you know, I'm not just saying it because he's Ringo, because, like, you know, he's just got a heart, man, some connected, man. I mean, I feel like a long-lost brother, man. If his name was Bob Smith, he would be my best friend, you know? If he, you know, did another job or something, you know? The fact that I get to do this, and for the ending of the book to actually, he looked at me, we wrote this song, and I played most of the, you know, the other instruments because it was something that I came up with, and he came up with the lyric, you know, and we worked on some of that together to finish it because he wrote "Show Me the Way" for his wife, Barbara, who I also think is awesome. And he goes, you know, I played the original, I put a rough bass part down, and he came up and he played me his vocal, and he just did this killer vocal, and I was really touched by it. And I like had tears in my eyes up at the house. I live 8 minutes away from him, so I was like, that's right. I ran right over. And he goes, there's just one thing, the bass. And I said, oh, don't worry about the bass, man. Call Nathan or somebody. You know, I just put a bookmark there. You know, the placemark, you know, whatever you call that. You know, placemark. And he goes, I was thinking of something a little different. Paul's coming over this weekend, and you know, everything stopped at that moment when I realized that I would be on a track with Paul and Ringo on a song that I co-wrote with him. I mean, never in a million years. What are the mathematical odds of that happening to a kid from North Hollywood?
Not one song, but 2 songs.
2 songs. He wanted to write a rocker opener, you know, just a riff song. So I came up with some weird riff on the spot. I actually thought of it on the way to his house. I didn't have nothing, and we finished the rest of it together. But just playing with him, and I've worked with I worked with Paul on a couple of different projects, and George was a friend of mine, and he played live with us, believe it or not, my band. There is, you know, pictorial proof of this. So I mean, they're the ultimate thing to me, the fact, but Ringo and I have become close friends, and I adore them. I adore everyone in this band, are all like musical giants, friends and heroes, the whole bit. So I get a kick out of this. I mean, it's going on 6 years.
Were you in the studio when Paul laid down the bass?
No, man, he surprised me with it afterwards. I wanted to come badly, but listen, I didn't want to push luck. I mean, the fact that he suggested that Paul played on, it meant a lot to me.
Rock Cellar TV, 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 Rock Cellar TV.